What's going on, everybody? It's Dan here, back with another Moonshine talking. Hope everyone's having a good one. Uh, yeah, so I'm here with another review. This one is going to be for the latest album from Vanik. It's number 4, which is their fourth full length, I imagine. If I were to take a guess, give me one second. Yeah, I was just searching around, trying to finding some stuff on Metal Archives that was coming out that seemed interesting, and this one popped up. I heard about Vanek not too long ago from Scott from No Solution. He was doing one of his videos, and he was showing off some music that he had. And I don't quite remember the context of why he was showing it, but he showed off something by a band called Vandalus, which turned out to be another one of Vanek, Sean Vanek, if you're not familiar, which I wasn't at the time. It's He's also Commander Vanek in Midnight. He's one of Athenar's live. He's his live guitar player when he goes out and Midnight does gigs. So Vandals is one of his bands. Vanek is one of his bands. So I started familiarizing myself with some of his work. And yeah, so I saw this was coming out and I was, oh, cool. So I went on Bandcamp. It was available for pre order. So I picked it up and yeah, and let's get into it. First of all, I will say I currently don't have a copy of it because they ran into some production issues, some supply chain issues. So I forget if it was the sleeves or something or other. They weren't available to send out the vinyl in time for the release date. So I got an apology, which was cool. You know, very cool dude. Him and his I'm gonna presume wife or girlfriend. They sent out an email to me, let me know that what the deal was. It wasn't going to be released on time. So sorry. Here's a download of the pre-order. You can check it out. And so that's what I did. And yeah, and it's killer. So it's on its way now. It's just gonna take probably a couple of days to get here from Ohio. Uh, it's a two-piece basically. The band. It's Sean Vanek. He does guitars, vocals, and drums, and Ed Stevens plays bass. That's pretty much been the band, other than whoever they recruit for live gigs. Um, they've been around since 2016. Released a bunch of stuff. This particular one, as far as the album cover went, Shagrot from Acid Witch did the cover, which is pretty cool. Nice little factoid there. But yeah, overall, I would say this is a combination of it's like a cross between horror punk and speed metal, like Bay Area thrash style, like Metallica. You hear a lot of Testament, especially in Vanek's voice. You can hear a lot of Chuck Billy in it. Like the first time I was listening to it, I was working out and I was listening to it, and some of the vocal annotations that he uses. I was trying to figure out, man, what does that sound like? And then first I was just thinking, okay, it's like kind of like almost like Metallica. Then it clicked in my head. I was like, oh, that sounds like Chuck Billy. So he's got a voice that's similar to that. So if you're into Testament, that's definitely something that would be appealing to you. And yeah, it's a killer album. Right from the start, there's an intro and there's an outro. Uh, But right from the start, as far as the songs in the proper sense, Chamber of Horrors, that's a ferocious opener.
Last thing I knew was stuck in here, waiting for time to get out. No components needed here.
It goes right into No One Else, which then leads into Infernal Infection, which is like a trifecta, just kick you right in the huevos, and it's really good. Infernal Infection's more of a that's more on the punkier side. Got a lot of D beat action going on. Very catchy, very hooky. Quite a few of the songs on here are very toe tappy, if you will. Trapped is another one like in that style. But Chamber Horror is very, very ferocious, very thrashy right out of the get go. No one else. It goes right into that. That one's another. Just lots of fast tremolo picking stuff like that. It's very, very good stuff. And then Darkness and Deceit. That's one of the last tracks on the album, and that's probably if you're a fan of Midnight and you're looking for something similar to that, that's probably the closest you're going to get on this.
After all, I'm trapped in a constant fire. Does it all make sense? It's not my desire. Trapped, I'm trapped. Trapped, you're trapped.
Otherwise, it's more along the, I'd say more along the horror punk and like thrashier side of things. But it's very good, very well done. It's 10 tracks. It's a little over 30 minutes long, so it gets in, gets out, just like it should. I don't know if it should, but it's right in that sweet spot of it's not it doesn't hang out too long, and it will keep you wanting more in that sense. So it's a nice time. It's generally speaking that's a good time frame to have an album. But yeah, it's really good. They did a really good job on it. If I were to give it on the stank face meter, as it were, I'd probably give it a 3.5 out of 5. And yeah, it's killer. I definitely recommend it. If, I don't know how many copies of the album came out. You'd have to go check that on his Bandcamp. I'm really not familiar. I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, if you can get a copy of it and it sounds interesting to you, go pick it up. I would recommend it. It's definitely a cool album. Be a cool addition if you're a fan of like say of course the Misfits. Trying to think of some other horror punk bands. Probably Lurking Corpses. Uh, Honestly, I'd say this one's probably a little bit better than the Lurking Corpses one. I'd probably have to listen to that again, but I'd say this one probably ekes it out a little bit as far as stuff in that style, in that vein of music. And again, if you're into old school Bay Area thrash like Metallica, Testament, Exodus, stuff like that, then this would be right up your alley. Yeah, very well done, very cool. Give it a listen, give it a chance, and if you like it and you can get a copy of it, go pick it up. I'd suggest it. So yeah, so that's what I got for you. I'm keeping it brief tonight, I should say. It's later in the evening. I'll tell you a fun story. There, as I say, I'm keeping it brief. So I get home tonight, and my apartment literally smells like shit. So apparently, the way things are set up here, the plumbing somewhere along the lines must have backed up, and somebody had to go probably get their toilet snaked down and everything, which is not entirely unsurprising because again, we just had a hurricane roll through the area, so sometimes the plumbing around here gets all wonky. But I just kind of laughed at that. I go in my bathroom and I step on the floor and I feel it kind of wet, and then I go, oh. I look in the bathtub and you can see the muck and the mire coming up had come up through the bathtub, and I was like, oh, wonderful. So I had to deal with that as soon as I got home tonight. So yay! But yeah, other than that, that's all I got for you. Up until the next one, I got a couple more reviews for you, and then we'll see as far as what sort of offerings of low to mid tier entertainment I got for you. But anyhow, I'm just babbling at this point. So, anyhow, as always, stay sick, stay heavy, stay brutal. Always tuck your chin upon impact and don't forget to breathe. Everyone have a good one, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.